This podcast is sponsored by Bigger Brains, online training that won't bore you to tears. Expand the minds of your workforce at getbiggerbrains.com.
Welcome to Permission to Speak, the video blog and podcast that loiters at the intersection of leaders who want their people to speak up, technology that facilitates connections, and results that serve our higher purpose. Now, here's your host, Kelly Vandever.
Welcome to the podcast. My name is Kelly Vandever, and our special guest today is Chantel Rice. Chantel is a retail account manager with Cargill and was featured during the 2015 Microsoft Ignite conference for the leadership role she played on the team that implemented Yammer at Cargill. And the story is fascinating. I'm looking forward to you sharing that with us today, Chantel. But before we do, let's get to know Chantel a little bit before we dive into the content piece. So Chantel, we will ask a couple of quirky questions on the podcast to get to know you a little bit.
Yeah.
And the first quirky question for you is, tell us about your guilty pleasure television show.
Oh my, I think I have a few guilty pleasure TV shows, but one that I really like is Scandal. Scandal on ABC. So it's just kind of about all the scandals that happen in the government and at the White House, and kind of a very dramatic TV show that gets me interested.
Well, some of my girlfriends keep talking about it, so I guess
Yep.
I'm going to have to eventually watch it.
Yes, you will. Yeah. And other ones, probably The Bachelor. I know that's just terrible, but I can't get enough of it.
Well, thank you for being willing to share that
Oh,
with us.
yes. Very vulnerable there, huh?
All right. The second question is, tell us something surprising about yourself that we might not know already.
Sure. So I was actually born and didn't have a name, which is kind of interesting. So they thought I was going to be a boy. So my parents had picked out a bunch of boy names. And so when they found out they had a girl, they didn't have any names picked out, and they were watching the news, and there was a Hurricane Chantel in Texas. And so I guess I came in with a storm, but that's how I got my name. So kind of unique.
That is hilarious.
Yeah.
That is so funny. Now, how did they do the ultrasound and they
They
just
did.
got it
Yeah,
wrong?
they did everything, and it wasn't super accurate back then. And so they thought they were having a boy named Matthew.
But I'm sure they're very happy that they got
Yes.
you as your daughter.
Fortunately, they had a girl.
Excellent. Well, thank you for sharing that with us.
Yes, of course.
And then my final question, a little deeper. Um, what's an innovation you've tried in the past few months that went way better than you thought it would?
Yeah, so I think it's really exciting because it's what we're going to talk about today. But I think an innovation that we brought into our Cargill animal nutrition team was Yammer, and it's a new tool, and a lot of people are sometimes resistant to change, and so I think that is one that went absolutely fantastic over the last about 8 months is when we rolled it out.
Well, okay, so let's transition into definitely
Yeah.
talking about that. So, if you could give folks a little bit of background about what you do there at Cargill and how the Yammer stuff came about, that'd be awesome.
Sure, yeah. So I started actually at Cargill in finance. I worked in finance for a couple years and then decided to transition into a sales role. So I work with our sales retail sales team. So we work with large farm and agricultural customers, so big farm ag stores, and they're located all across the U.S. And so as my role as a retail account manager, I work directly with the corporate level, working with the buyers to get new promotions in, get new products in, things like that. So below that would be a team of retail account representatives, and those are the people that are really in the stores and on the front line. And so historically, a lot of those account representatives would share information with each other, and they would share pictures via text, via email. We tried some things where we would upload a bunch of pictures to SharePoint just for people to see what displays they were having in stores, promotion displays they put up, just what the feed department looked like. So we're in the animal feed business, and we're curious what it looks like in different stores. And so that's kind of how, we got the idea of we needed something better than just SharePoint for pictures, or a slide when we would have, calls, monthly calls. We would put up a PowerPoint slide with 50 pictures on it. So it was hard. It was really hard for people to see and experience what was really going on and learn. And that's really where Yammer came in. So we kind of evolved from that legacy way of doing things, and Yammer's a Cargill approved tool. And so really Cargill adopted it a few years ago, and I hadn't really taken off on it. I wasn't really sold on it, but after experiencing a little bit and just getting familiar with the tool, we thought that would be a great tool for our retail business.
So tell us a little bit about why sharing the pictures was important to the retail business.
Yeah, so a lot of times we have a lot of new point of sale material that we put up in order to just increase sales on some of our products. And the marketing team is very involved in the design of that. The account representative team is important for the execution of it. And then as an account manager, I can't be in every store at any one time. So I really like to go out and see these pictures. So previously I would be emailed lots and lots of pictures or shared to them on a PowerPoint slide. And it was a little tedious, and I didn't really get the full picture. I didn't really get many comments about why this picture was sent to me. Just kind of, here's some stuff I did over the weekend, or here's some things I saw this week. So it was a little bit more difficult for us to really understand what was happening in stores.
So it's an interesting story about how you guys decided to teach people how to use the tool. So can you share that with us?
Definitely. So it was about 8 months ago. I actually started with a trial team. So because Yammer was Cargill approved, I had played on it here and there and joined some random groups. But I thought, wow, we probably need to do this for our retail team. So we got a group of about 5 of us, and we just trialed it. We used it just to share pictures, share safety tips. I mean, all sorts of stuff we used it for. And then we brought it we had a large national meeting in San Antonio with our retail team. And we introduced it there. And we did something kind of fun where we played a game, a scavenger hunt, to get people used to it. So first of all, we wanted everyone to download the app. So it's a very mobile, user-friendly tool. So we had an instruction on downloading the app, and the 5 people that trialed it went around and helped all the people on their phones. And then we said, kind of to relate it back to our business, we're going to go to the shopping mall. We're going to break into groups. And your group is going to go take pictures of the neatest display you've seen. So maybe it's in a footwear store and you see a really cool display. They were just going to take a picture of it, upload it to Yammer, tag their group name, so it might have been group 10, for example, and then the next day at our meeting, we went through and picked the coolest display or the neatest promotion they saw. And this was just not even in our feed realm. It was all sorts of retailers at the mall. And so that was really fun. So people got out, they got on their phones, they tried it, they uploaded pictures, and there was a team atmosphere so everyone could help each other out.
Well, it seemed very practical too. You're teaching them how to use the tool and things that would correlate to what they'll do in the field, right?
Exactly. Yep. But in a more fun way. Let's go to the mall versus let's go into a feed store. Some people might be more excited for the feed store, but you never know.
Good point.
Yes.
So tell me about the people that were going through this. Are they primarily younger folks? Has age played a role in the adoption?
It definitely did at first. So we've got a pretty wide range of ages. So I would say our ages start, as young as right out of school, so probably 22 years old, all the way up to late 50s. So there's a wide range of people that we needed to get on the tool. So I'll tell you, obviously, the younger generation, really easy because Yammer is what I like to call is Facebook for business. Mm-hmm. It's just like Facebook. And so those that have been on Facebook for years and years really grasp on to how to use Yammer pretty easily. But for some of our older generation, they were a little resistant at first, but we realized once we sat them down, a lot of them have smartphones, and just said, hey, let me help you download this tool. We would download it. We would upload a picture. The great thing is if they don't choose to use it on their phone, they can go online and do it. So we've seen a lot of people just going online to upload photos or write comments on other people's. So there was a little bit of resistance, but I think overall, with everyone embracing the tool, specifically management being very involved, that allowed us to jump right into it and get started.
So, how was your management involved? How did they endorse using it?
Yeah, so they were honestly a key player in embracing the tool, and without them, it probably wouldn't be where it is today. So the management support of just going out, liking photos, commenting on posts that people have made, using it for recognition. They've been very helpful in that area. And additionally, just the support from Cargill overall. So we have kind of a Cargill super user, and she's really the one that if we get in any troubles, she's there to help us out. And that's been very helpful along with the management involvement.
Okay, very cool, very cool.
Yeah.
Now, there was something that you shared when we were talking before about you kind of realigned the businesses, that there was some silos in the business, and that while it encouraged competition, it also encouraged hoarding information or not sharing. So, can
Yeah.
you tell us a little about that?
Oh, definitely. Yes. So that was something we went through about 2 years ago now. We used to be more aligned by regions. So Western region, Midwest region, Southeast, et cetera. And that's really how we functioned. And that's how we did our business. And so there wasn't a lot of sharing between the regions. But when we came together and decided to merge our business into one U.S. region, there was a lot to learn. And a lot of people had a lot of great information that they just weren't sharing. So specifically for our retail business, we're located across the entire U.S. And so Yammer specifically was a great way for us to share those pictures or those ideas or the recognition of others in one central place. And I think our team was really the first to adopt it in our retail and commercial businesses, in our feed and nutrition business. And it's really taken off with some of the other groups as well because of the success that we've had and the sharing of best practices.
So tell us about some of those other groups. What are some of the other groups that are adopting?
Yeah, so there, I'm really excited about it. So we have a lot of people that use Yammer. So marketing uses it. Not that they have their own group, but they are on our Yammer page all the time, looking for new ideas, looking at what the competition is doing out there. Where we'll often post pictures like that, or just neat things we see. So they are very involved. They also share a lot of announcements on it. So that's one group. We have another retail group that works with some of our smaller independent feed dealers. And they just recently joined. It was probably about 2 months ago, and they're already up to 150 members. So I'm really excited for them. But they're using it. And something just really neat that our marketing team did for both of our retail groups recently. They have this campaign going on for one of our promotions, and we have a lot of point of sale. And so the marketing team offered a free iPad to whichever salesperson posts the most displays of this new campaign. And so really neat way to engage everyone and engage both of our retail sales teams. So now we're able to connect a little bit more. But other groups, plant operations, so they use it for just tracking how they're doing on their world class. So how their plants look appearance-wise, and they post pictures of before and after. So that's really fun to see. And then the management, just being on all the different groups has been really key.
I get a sense that people take a lot of pride in their work, and that this is one place where they can, look at what I've done. I'm proud of the work I've done.
Yeah, definitely. And they're excited to share it. And so just a key reason that it's been so successful is it really breaks down those barriers that you have between management. So before, you might have to have shot an email to your boss's boss's boss, and that's a little bit intimidating. Hey, look at this picture I did, and you really, why would you do that, And so now that it's on Yammer, it's just a really easy way for people to get recognized and just show them what you're doing out there. And we've really embraced that with doing incentives based off Yammer, which is kind of a neat thing that I don't know many other groups have started before.
Well, tell us a little bit about the incentives then.
Yeah, so some neat things we've done. So there's this tool called hashtags in Yammer. So those of us familiar with Twitter and Facebook and Instagram and all sorts of tools out there, hashtags are just a way to track information, really. So what we've done is for every account representative in the U.S., they earn $10 for every display that they make. So just gaining floor space, really. So moving a competitive product out and getting our product in. And they put a before and after picture on Yammer, and they tag their last name with the number 10. So in my case, it would be Rice10, hashtag Rice10. And that means I get $10. And so that's just a really easy minimum incentive in addition to the other bonuses and incentive programs that really drives people to want to use Yammer.
Yeah, very cool. Well, and it's driving the behavior that you want too in
Oh,
your
yeah.
employees. Yeah, so for the business reasons. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Very cool. Very cool. This has been exciting. Trying to think what else was I going to ask
Yeah.
Chantel about. That's right. You had mentioned when we had talked before about the incentives,
Yeah.
and you talked about marketing getting involved, and we're talking about something related to call centers. Remind me
Yeah,
what that
so
was.
our customer service team. So our customer service teams sit again across the U.S. Primarily, most of them are in Kansas City, but for the most part, they're not getting out to the customers very frequently. So Yammer was a kind of a neat way for them to see our customers without being there. And they've really used that in more of our independent dealer space on that retail side of it, but additionally in our retail stores too. So they can kind of get a quick picture of, oh, this is what this display looks like, or this is what my store looks like that I service every day and when I'm on the phone with them. So it's been a way for our customer service team to connect with our customers as well.
That's very cool. That's very
Yeah.
cool. Excellent. So, have there been any kind of surprise gotchas that would be
Yeah.
helpful for people to know about as they're implementing something like that?
Yeah, honestly, I was asking my team, I was like, what were you most surprised about? And everyone just said how easy it was. So a lot of people are going to be resistant. I don't want to have to check this tool again. I don't want to have to log on every day and see what's going on Yammer. I've got too many things that going on already.
Right.
But I think a big surprise is it reduced my email. I mean, a lot of times, a lot of this stuff you were sending through email, and it's just more of FYIs. And now you put it on Yammer, and people can look at it at their own leisure. They can comment on it, they can like it, they can ask you more questions right through Yammer, and then it creates a thread so everyone can be involved. So my teammates said easy, really quick. It's real time. That was a big change. So when we previously shared things on a monthly call or on SharePoint, you wouldn't see it until a month after it was done. So now it's real time, and we can see if we've got a current promotion going on. We can go in the stores right away and get that new display up based on what other team members are doing.
Okay.
So I think those are big ones, and we knew it was important to share this stuff. We just didn't have a place to do it. So everyone's really embraced the tool.
That's awesome. That is awesome. So, what are some of the other benefits that you've maybe been surprised by that you didn't see? No, fewer emails. I mean, that's huge, right there, right?
Great. Yeah. Well, and like I said, people just didn't want to do it. But it was funny. I was on a call this morning, and someone was like, "Hey, did you guys see that video about Cargill's 150th anniversary?" And some of us were like, "Yeah, we saw it." And then someone piped in. They're like, "What are you guys talking about?" And it was funny because it was posted on Yammer. And so you kind of almost feel like unincluded if you're not going on Yammer every day. But yeah, so there was this really neat video posted with one of our customers featured, and they posted it on our retail page. And so it's been a good change and a lot of benefit out of just sharing more than what we've ever shared before. Just documentation of stuff. You can always go back and search if you saw a neat idea and you can't remember where it was. Just being able to see stores without really being there, see our customers without actually going every day, and just the quickness of responses. Everyone's on it. So if you've got a question, you shoot it out there and you get a response by at least 5 people in 10 minutes.
That's awesome. That's
Right.
awesome. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
not 5 emails. It's just one chain on you. There we go.
All right. Very cool. Very cool. So,
Yeah.
so what else? What is there other things that we haven't touched on yet that you think are cool for folks to know about?
I think those are some of the big things that I wanted to make sure I touched on, but just really get people on it. It's easy to use. Like I said, it's Facebook. So if you can just get more and more people on it and start some spark around it, do incentives on it, there's a lot of opportunity
Very
to
cool.
that. Yeah.
And what would you guess the management team would say has been the some of the biggest benefits to them as they've been seeing this unfold?
Oh, yeah. So, well, just from the retail account manager side, we can see what's going on without being there. But the management team, I think they get a sense of really understanding who people are a little bit more because they're not involved in their day to day jobs. But if they can look out there and see what's going on and see who's actively participating and offering ideas, it broke down that barrier for them and they can communicate really easily
And do you
with them.
and do you feel like you're getting to know the management teams, layers above you better as well too, or?
Oh yeah, definitely. I think it goes just all directions, and that's what I like about Yammer. It's not just a hierarchy; it's everyone, and it's kind of just like a big web, a network
Right.
that we've created, and not just our retail team; it's everybody. So you get to know people outside of your sales group too.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, Chantel, thank you so much for spending some time with us and
No
sharing your
problem.
experiences. It's exciting to hear how that worked for you.
Yeah, no, it was a great experience for us, and happy to share it.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
This podcast was brought to you by Bigger Brains, online training that won't bore you to tears. Expand the minds of your workforce at getbiggerbrains.com. To learn more about Cargill and their 150th anniversary, go to cargill.com/150. And to learn more about Yammer, go to yammer.com. YAMMER.com. Thanks for tuning in to Permission to Speak. If you want to increase collaboration and innovation in your organization, check out more resources available at speakingpractically.com or give me a call, Kelly Vandever, at 770-597-1108.